welcome. We're up here in the gear loft. A little fun fact, we just tried shooting this video outside. God, this freaking wind. And it was way too windy.
A little cold.
And a little cold.
Still wearing my outerwear.
So we're up here in the gear loft. Today we are going to talk about one of our favorite pieces of gear from one of our favorite companies.
It's just so good.
The Enlightened Equipment Revelation Topquilt. If you've never heard of Enlightened Equipment, they're a fantastic company. They did not give us these or pay us. If they want to give us quilts or pay us, though, we'd be happy.
We'll take free quilts.
They, in addition to quilts, they just started making a down jacket. They make a ton of down products. And
they have a bivvy.
They have a bivvy now.
Yeah, I just saw it on their website. That's so cool.
And everything is custom, and they have some stuff off the shelf, but we couldn't recommend Enlightened Equipment as a company just in general. But today we're going to talk about our top quilt, the Revelation. I have a 30 degree. Andy has a 20 degree model. So let's get into it. First thing about the Revelation is, like everything that they sell, there's a high degree of customization you can get with these things. So it comes in 5 different temperature ratings, a bunch of different widths, a bunch of different lengths, a bunch of different colors, different fabrics, different fill powers. Check out the website for all the options. Andy and I both have the long version of the Revelation, and we couldn't recommend getting a longer size more.
So then we can go like this.
Yeah, especially if you're like over 6 feet, definitely get it long. So when you're in your hammock or when you're on your pad, you can pull this thing up over your face if you need to. But that's kind of the cool thing about anything from there, and from a lot of cottage manufacturers in general, is you can customize everything about these quilts.
Yeah, so many different colors and options.
And weirdly, even though we bought these like years apart, both got the same color set up.
Yeah, I think this is like the color that's stock on their website, and that everybody kind of like goes to it.
Let's talk about some of the features of this quilt. The biggest difference between this quilt and the other quilts they make, I believe called the Enigma, is this quilt has a zippered footbox.
Yeah.
So you have the ability to unzip the footbox and uncinch it and put it into what we will call blanket mode. And I actually think if you're looking for a top quilt, unless like all your camping is in like late fall or winter, get a quilt that has a zippered footbox, because on those warmer months you want to be able to zip out the footbox so your feet don't sweat.
Maybe, yeah. I mean,
and you can use it inside. I've used it like just like laying on the couch as a down blanket.
Yeah.
In addition to the zippered footbox that this has, it also has a cinch at the top and another strap and buckle system at the top, so you can buckle this thing around your head.
Snap it around your head.
Snap it around your head, I guess. Another cool feature of Enlightened Equipment top quilts is they have a strap system built into the quilt, so you can strap this thing to a sleeping pad. One of my biggest kind of gripes with quilts versus sleeping bags is I kind of toss and turn a lot when I sleep. So when I used to sleep on the ground on a pad, I never used the straps. Now looking back on it, I probably should have, but I would like toss and turn around, and my like sides would become exposed and get cold. So that was kind of my biggest gripe with the quilts. But if you use these straps and you strap it to your pad, I think it probably eliminates that.
Yeah, it definitely does. I've used the straps before on the pad, and it definitely helps keep the quilt around your body when you're moving around, because I'm a side sleeper as well and move around, so it is nice. Not necessarily needed, but it's a nice little option that they throw in.
Yeah. One of the biggest well-known features about Enlightened Equipment stuff is how light the stuff is.
Yeah.
Their quilts are made out of a 10D nylon, and that's really light. I'll throw the weights up of these quilts on the screen, but I mean, this thing weighs less than a pound for a top quilt. That's freaking crazy. Yeah, it's like 15.8 ounces.
Yours?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm
stupid, because I have a 30 degree.
I'm like 19.
Yeah, 19 or 20.
Yeah.
All their stuff is stupid light. and it compresses down really well. So their stuff is generally more expensive than a lot of other cottage vendors, but it's handmade in the USA, and it's definitely the highest quality materials. But they do use like a 10D nylon shell, so it is. I'm not gonna say it's fragile, but it's definitely like something like this underquilt from Underground Quilts is a much heavier nylon, and you can feel the difference. I mean, you can feel the toughness of the nylon. But it's a top quilt. It's not like you're going to be banging it around on stuff, so you can kind of get away with it. While we were outside in those cold, blustery conditions, we did a little bit of scientific temperature testing.
Yeah, it was highly scientific.
Highly scientific. So the way we set up this scientific experiment is we went outside. The ambient temperature was 31.6 degrees. I laid on the Xtherm, and I laid there with the Costco quilt, which is what you're looking at now, and also with the 30 degree and the 20 degree Revelation. I placed a thermometer right on my belly button, on top of my jacket, but underneath the quilt, and I measured the change in temperature after 5 minutes. So quick, easy. The Costco quilt got up to 53.8 degrees, the 30 degree Revelation got up to 63.7 degrees, and the 20 degree Revelation got up to 66.2 degrees. So all said and done, the 20 degree Revelation was about 4% warmer than the 30 degree, and about 23% warmer than the Costco quilt.
When you order one of these quilts from Enlightened Equipment, they include a stuff sack.
Straps.
They include the straps that clip onto it, and then they include like a large cotton bag, storage bag for it. So that's pretty common.
Yeah, with down products, pro tip, never want to store them compressed.
Yeah.
You can do that with synthetic down, but with real down, that's why a lot of down products come in those like big cotton bags, and even better if you can hang them up, but you should never store down stuff compressed. So what are the pros and cons to these quilts? So the good is they are very light, they're very warm, they're very high quality, and there's like a lot of stuff from cottage vendors. There's a really high degree of customization that comes with these quilts.
Yeah, and great customer service.
Great customer service, yeah. Another pro I was going to say is Enlightened Equipment has a really good return policy. You can return anything for 40 days. So if you get something that's the wrong size, or you want a little something that's warmer, you can return it and get something different. I think that's where their off-the-shelf stuff comes from. People have returned stuff within those 40 days. I don't know. But that's definitely pro, not specific to this quilt, but to that company in general, is Enlightened Equipment has a really good return policy. And I know people who buy stuff from there just because of that return policy. Now, what are some of the disadvantages? The biggest disadvantage is, I don't know, these things are just expensive. Quilts in general from cottage vendors are expensive. Like you can go buy a Montbell sleeping bag for much less money than these.
Not too
much, but they're definitely cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, obviously when you're buying a high quality down product, you're gonna pay more than
so I don't know, the biggest argument for getting this over something else is they're just really light, and I do like how you can customize everything about these quilts when you buy them. Another negative to this quilt is Enlightened Equipment, compared to some other stuff, you have to hand wash these, and washing this I think gets kind of technical, versus like my Montbell sleeping bag, which is down. I was able to use a specialty down detergent, but I was able to wash it in a regular washing machine. And especially top quilts, it's not like you have to wash it all the time, but you definitely need to wash them, because your oils from your skin will get on the down feathers and cause them to lose their loft. So you're gonna have to wash these things eventually, and you can still wash it, but it's gonna take some babying, and you gotta hand wash it and be really gentle with it. So the biggest con, other than the price, is kind of the fragility of these quilts. But they're still, I mean, you've had that one for
I don't know, 3 years.
3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I've had this for a year now, and there's no signs of deterioration.
Yeah, no, they're great products, and I don't even know if I'd really hold the washing against.
Yeah, I guess not.
Because I mean that's going to be pretty standard with any quilt you go with.
Yeah, but some you can wash in a washing machine.
Well, maybe just that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Washing down stuff in general is a pain.
Well, I hope you found this video a little bit helpful and informative, especially if you're in the market for a nice top quilt or under quilt.
Yeah, he's got an Enlightened equipment under quilt. That's also awesome.
Yeah, if you're in the market, definitely check out Enlightened equipment. They should be high up on your list of manufacturers to look at. Every single product we've ever had from them is so high quality, and they stand behind their products. And the stuff just works.
Yeah.
And yeah, give them a look, especially if you're gonna buy something right now.
So thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, as Andy said, check out Enlightened Equipment. They make sweet stuff.